Good morning, I hope that you are well. Good morning, I hope that you are well. I hope that you will enjoy your card and enjoy my new wizard. It was a gift my friend Leslie gave me, and I am so grateful. I should have waited longer and made you wait longer for the suspense of what I would say was the wizard I'm in love with. But what can I do? I get so excited sometimes that I show my cards too soon. Do you ever have that problem? I wonder, do you ever have the problem of getting so excited that you share your cards far too soon? Do you ever? Do you ever show your cards too soon? I'm just inviting a few other groups before we go into today's deep dive. I'm on your side. We are all on the same side of humanity. With an extra E, it's true that we are the ones we've been waiting for. You are the one you've been waiting for. You got to be willing to love yourself before anyone else. For if you will not, then how can you love someone else? That is a strategy of the dark side to make you think you've got to blink. What's the card for the day, the dark and light? What's the dark and light side of the card they want to show you for today? The strategy that we are going to cover today. There were a few. Imitation is at the bottom, and don't be moved by human goodness or badness is on top. Mixed truth or error with good and bad. Mixed truth with error, good and bad was on top. It is sad that some can be moved by human badness or goodness and change who they know themselves to be. It's true. Variation of this tactic, sometimes do good deeds. This gives you the legitimacy you need to be taken seriously. It makes your attempt to disguise yourself as a light bearer more convincing. That's what you do if you are on the dark side. Mix truth with lies, good and bad, and tell the truth. Make them think that the imitation is the real thing. Discernment is the other side of the same coin. Beware of imitation. Pray for and develop discernment. Ask God to help you separate the real from the unreal, so that you can see the truth or error of a situation. If you wait, God will show you what you need to see. The truth is always there if you're willing to see it. Ooh. The obvious is oblivious to us when we are blinded by the Nazi plan in play. Be careful not to make quick assessments of people or situations, or be too quick to enter into a relationship with them. Imitation, as you know, we have long ago used up our own light and have to get it from others in order to exist one way that we can Still the light bearer's light is through. Imitation, imitate the behavior of the one you're pretending to be, and hope that the light bearer won't notice the difference. Primary examples are false hierarchy imposters who come pretending to be the true friend, master, disciple, twin flame, or messenger. Maybe I'm an imitation, do you know? Yes, you do, because you feel it in your heart. You know that it is true if it's put on for you, or if it is put through me in order to reach you. Belittle, you are out of your league, is a classic tactic of the dark side that we do not need to believe. The mailman waves every day, 'cause I'm out here most often every day too, working on my computer, and they don't understand what I do specifically, but you maybe have a glimpse into it. Would love for you to share this with someone who cares, to know they're not alone in this world. I've got something coming for you. It's a series I'm sending these sections off to Josh Foreman this morning, and so soon we'll have some goodies to show you. I'm so excited. Did you know that tomorrow we will go live at 5:55? Because every Thursday the empowering leaders of self-mastermind group, we always now meet on Thursdays at 5:55. It's true, we go live to decide what we want to do with ourselves in that moment, so we can be proactive in resolving problems. If you see someone making karma with someone, withdraw your energy. Take an objective look at the situation and plot a new course. Try to resolve problems with others. Don't let them simmer and grow. Sometimes you can only give it to God and move on. Don't accept negative reports about others that you can't verify. Presume goodwill and give the benefit of the doubt. The light strategies 15 and 25 also apply here. Did you know there are tools in this deck? It's strategies of the light and darkness. It was a gift from a friend I am grateful to have connected to. The other one that dropped, there are two more. Sympathy are foolproof strategy. Sympathy is a downward spiral that can lead to a lowering of their energy. Sympathy is a great way to tie into their energy source, as we can siphon off their light. Try these sympathy tricks. Flattery, a flow of tears, giving gifts with strings attached, or being nice to them and getting them to sympathize with you. Giving gifts with strings or expectations attached, promising with delivering, giving and then withdrawing, all tied to them, to you through their attention and therefore their energy. Seek the highest good is the opposite. Understand the difference between sympathy and compassion. Sympathy is a downward spiral. You gotta get into the ditch to help them get out if you want to be in there too, compared to compassion's an upward spiral. Learn to spot human sympathy. Be careful about your associations. Determine whether sympathy or compassion is at work within them. Ask yourself, what is the highest good for all involved? Then act as your heart tells you to. Sympathy would overprotect a child learning to walk. Compassion would let them fall and gain self-mastery. Watch out for gifts and promises That's the way when sympathy is offered to tie into their energy source so we can siphon off their light. It's true. We must focus on becoming our higher self. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to perfect your human self, but become more of your divine self. The ascended masters and true teachers don't concentrate on the faults of their students. They look at the motive of your heart, your self-discipline, and the work that you have achieved. Put your faith in God, not your human self or the human self of others. Don't turn not having to be perfect into an excuse for not striving on the path of self-mastery. That's why we are all here. It is true. You have to be perfect before you are acceptable is a strategy of the dark side that you need to know that you can overcome. It is not good and it's hard won. Tell them they have to become perfect before they are acceptable to God, before they are worthy of communing with Him or even being loved by Him. Try to get them to accept the lie that they can become humanly perfect. Try to keep them from distinguishing between good works done for the glory of God and works that are mechanically perfect yet performed out of the ego. When you watch someone, do you know how to tell whether they are coming from their ego edging God out, or whether they have let themselves become hollow so they can let the information flow through them? Get in the driver's seat, ask for what is hidden to be revealed. Get in the driver's seat. When it comes to projects you are responsible for, get the information you need to complete them. And if information is not forthcoming, work around it, go and get it. Don't withhold information from yourself. Denial is, didn't even know I am lying to myself. It is true that we substituted a K for A and O, but that's okay. What do you do if you gotta make it rhyme? Okay, so work with people you trust. Don't assume that everyone has your best interests at heart. I've learned that the hard way. Protect your projects by not sharing all the details until the appropriate time. However, provide details as needed to the ones who need it as they do. So this morning all I wanted to really do was share the strategies of the light and darkness to help you see that each day we will go through these. Sometimes I'll sing. Do you like that, or would you prefer instead to have heard it if I didn't? Victory, consciousness, discouragement, despair, depression are classic, our objective here is to get individual light bearers and eventually all mankind who give up and stop trying, try to impress a sense of utility upon them. See if you can get them to enter into a sense of depression and despair and have a doom and gloom mentality. When depression sets in, it reinforces their downward spiral, and you're one step closer to getting them to stop trying. That is the dark side of victory consciousness. And so, if you want to see the flip side, then you can see, have a sense of victory in all that you do. Do not succumb to despair, depression, or discouragement. No matter how bad things look, at any moment the tide can turn. God can have a victory. Learn to catch yourself before you enter a downward spiral. Do not see yourself under a mountain of karma. Imagine that there is not long to go until the victory. I wanted to share something that happened yesterday as I offered an energy treatment. I was working on a friend, and then I felt guided to say that your right arm is where the energy leaves through. And so then as I massaged it out and I got to say, please imagine all that negativity leaving out. The right arm, please do it now and see all the negativity that you might have stored inside of you now leaving out of your arms. Without a doubt, slap your fingers kindly, gently, just to give them nudges to release the energy that is trapped. We must just release and let it all be okay. And so then we understand that when we do it, when we feel safe already, we create patterns that we can access after. Even in times of crisis, it becomes a memory that we feel safe to access. And so then we have used and learned a pattern we can use to let the negativity go out through our fingertips. Woo, yo! And then we move over into the receiving side of the left hand, which ultimately, if we actually look at the sacred chamber of the heart, where the threefold flame of power, love, and wisdom sits, it's true inside of you. The right-handed path I just learned is the way of the blue plume of power when we put positions and money and things over people. That is when we choose power over people, and that is not how we choose the right-handed path of the love plume all the way into the center, where we become like a phoenix twister all the way up to the source of which we all came from and will return to, because we each brought a picture of the divine with us, and we call that the picture of I am that I am. It's true, you are the one you've been waiting for all the way, and so you brought an image of your own highest version of yourself up above to guide you and remind you you're never alone. None of us are. It's true that we are in this. Isn't it great to be here alive at this turning point time in history? It's true. I am grateful that you are here, and I send you love tomorrow at 5:55 rather. I hope you will join me live, and when we do, it is an opportunity. Zoom forward into the future we choose to create together, because we chose to weather these storms together and not get safely separated from ourselves and our highest nature. Our heart flame in the center of wisdom, love, and power, where we are able to balance each of the plumes. Instead of choosing one, we can choose all love, but not at once, not at the same time. We can have it all, but just not at the same time. It's true, I have so many other rhymes. In truth, I have a serious message for you. I hope you had some fun. I hope you enjoyed the song. It's lengthy, I know, but if you chose to play along, I hope you learned something. So what would it be? Comment below, let me know. And when you do, please do know too, I read them all, even when it is not kind. And when it is not, I send you love. And when it is, I send you extra love, because it's nicer to receive love in a nice way. But at the same time, if you need to send venom into this world so it's not so inside of you, then may you have a solid spot in this earth where you are able to send that which you are trying to pour into others, such as me and others who you see on the screen. Please drain all of that into there, because no longer does it need to be put on each other. We are in this together. Why would it ever be any other way? I don't know why I say it in this way, but what I do say is this is a character. It's still me, just in a different way. So, when I say that, what do you say? Let me effing know. I'm just kidding. I was going to throw in an F-bomb just to emphasize the point, because SpongeBob SquarePants did say that that swear words are sentence enhancers, and I liked it. But there's also an element of corruption to even that, because when we swear, our words are swords. And when we swear, we turn something sacred into something that is scary. And that's not cool, nor is it safe. We've become a society that is obsessed with safety. But we have to then think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and why that would be the element that we are trained to focus on that is below belonging, because that is the reinforcing barrier for the safety that we are encouraged to seek as a way to stay safe within the tribe. Herd mentality. Well, did you know that the definition of that very thing was changed in October 2020 to make it all about injecting something that is not organic into an organic being, really? For herd immunity. When did we stop trusting the immune system of that which we came here in? If we were sent out into space in a spaceship that was not equipped to deal with all that was going to be encountered, then we would worry. And I know some people feel like that's how they are in this world because of all the propaganda that they've been told. But if you shut off all of the noise, the outside influences, and you listen to nature, which is why it's so healing, there is no virus. Actually, there are millions inside of each of us. It's millions of viruses inside of us. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the one to speak science, but you know what? I'm connected with Wayne Peters, who is interviewing the doctors with What's Up Canada, and he's doing amazing work, and Freedom Forum Canada is reporting on the truth, and I'm plugged in and connected to so many amazing warriors. And I'm editing right now the series that I'm going to release as a free series to help you understand what it means to be a peaceful inner warrior united. To actually understand what the peaceful inner acronyms stand for, as well as what the special practice is, which is a holistic self-care practice that peaceful inner warriors can use to personally adopt and create and work with who and whose they choose to be, recognize themselves to be. You. Whatever you need this to be for you, make it that. But have a template so you're not starting from scratch, so it's not so overwhelming. And that is what took me over 4 years to create for you. And I'm grateful that it did, that it stretched me, because I went through the sacred sojourn of the soul, which is another one of the videos too. And the sacred sojourn of the soul is the hero's journey from a soulful perspective. And that puppy changed me, baby. Wow. Let me tell you, seriously, wow. That has been the most extreme experience over the last 2 years, it would seem. For all of us in the last year, 16 months, year and a half, it's gone extra crazy, but for me, I got there a bit sooner before everyone else, just so I could test the waters and say, no, don't go where I went. And I'm going to hopefully help share where not only I went, but where I believe that activists could land if we don't understand how to protect and claim our rights. And to say that it's automatic and it's presumed is to say that abusive parents give toys back when their kids behave. It doesn't happen like that, even though it may seem like it when the CAS worker's in the room, and then after they leave, you know, you're left in the hands of that abuser. And that's what it would seem we're in the experience of now. And I leak coffee. Spilt coffee. Don't they say there's a lot to that expression? My friends, I have to get to actually choosing the sections, and I've already done that, so now I just need to put them together, but I transcribed all of them, so it's been a lot of work. And I am going to use it to the best of my ability and try to leverage what I've done And I would encourage you to do the same, because I feel like we're all so busy doing that we forget all that we've done, and how we can use that platform in order to bounce and leap forward from there in order to go to a completely new, higher, better, amazing level. So I hope this inspires you to do something that might frighten you, strengthen, separate you from hierarchy, and reconnect you with hierarchy. Deprive the light bearers of the knowledge of their brothers and sisters in heaven and on earth, the true body of God. Use these strategies as well as our other tools to try to cut them off from the line of hierarchy. Ascended masters, true teachers, and other light bearers, aka their spiritual support system. That is the dark side's strategy. And then the light side says reconnect with hierarchy. Take some time each day to consciously reconnect with hierarchy in whatever way works best for you. Some examples: prayer, meditation on God and your higher self, befriending and building a relationship with an ascended master, affirming that you are part of the mystical body of God. Be willing to discover new ways to connect with your spiritual support system, or rediscover old ways that worked in the past. So actually, I'll end today's video by just simply sharing that I was working on my editing for the series that will soon be coming to you live, so please do keep an eye out for that, and please know that you have been considered every step of the way in the creation of that formula, that process, that system, and I am really looking forward to running a pilot experience with you, and I'm already kind of starting with the Human Aura book study that we do on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. So the 5:55 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow is the Empowering Leaders of Self Mastermind, and then 8 p.m. is the Human Aura studies. And I would love for you to be able to gain access to those teachings, and then to be able to figure out what you're going to do with the information that you gain access to. And the reason I mentioned Michael was because he mentioned about yesterday he got to a place where we was making a delivery an hour early, and he ended up finding out that there was a Tibetan temple that had prayer wheels. So he got to take a video of Tibetan prayer wheels, which I hadn't actually seen before, and that was his first time actually getting to experience it himself live. So the wheels spin as the prayer goes into the universe, and bells were ringing, and I had said to him that I always said about how I would never attend an anti-war rally because Mother Teresa said so. No, not just because Mother Teresa said so, but Mother Teresa actually said so. And Mother Teresa said, I will never attend an anti-war rally, but host a rally for peace, and I will be there. And I always would joke and say she'd be there with bells and whistles on. So then the fact that bells were ringing while the Tibetan prayer wheels were spinning was significant. And the fact it was a couple, a Tibetan couple, that were actually spinning the wheels when Michael got there before he then sat in prayer was pretty magical. And I was having quite the magical day myself too, with learning that process and a few other things that I was doing too. So separation from the body of God is the primary tactic that is used to separate man from God. Feel free to use any of these 33 strategies to accomplish this. Warning: one of the most important realizations the light bearers can share with one another is the reality of their connection to God and their higher self, the light within. Realizing this reconnects them with their innate divinity and with the cosmic hierarchy of light. Try at all costs to keep this knowledge from spreading is the dark side's advice. And then the light side, which is the other side of the same coin, is study the lives of the saints. What is an ascended master but simply one who walked the earth and actually transmuted enough of their karma in order to lift and no longer be so dense as to need to be stuck in the cycle of samsara or suffering or karma? that ultimately keeps us recycling in this planetary experience. And so if we study the lives of the saints and we understand that the great ones came before us and were challenged just like us and had ups and downs just like us and didn't think they were going to make it and almost didn't at times, and then when they finally didn't, they went out with such a purpose, so much conviction behind what they were standing for, that ultimately when they fell, others cried. Instead of those who, you know, when a baby is born, the baby cries and the world rejoices, and then when we leave, it's like we rejoice and everyone else cries if we've lived a good life. So study the lives of the saints and ascended masters to learn the stories of those who have gone before. They have emerged victorious from the trials of earth's schoolroom, and so can you. Nurture your connection to God and your higher self as the saints did. Life on the path to God is an endurance test. The big question is, can you endure? Can you endure during the times of trial, testing, and returning karma like the saints? Can you endure? Can we endure? Yes, we can. Victory consciousness. That is what we must maintain. Have a sense of victory in all that you do. Do not succumb to despair, depression, or discouragement, no matter how bad things look. At any moment, the tide can turn and God can have a victory. Learn to catch yourself before you enter a downward spiral. Do not see yourself under a mountain of karma. Imagine that there is not long to go until the victory. Amen. Woo! So that was Strategies of the Light and Dark by Kumara Creations, which is a super cool card deck. And I hope that you have an incredible day. I'm going to get those selections made and then look forward very much to being able to get those up and out to you soon. So please do share this message with someone who would benefit from knowing that it's okay to be crazy, that it's okay to be different, because that by definition is actually synonymous. Crazy is different by definition. Insanity is doing the same thing over again, expecting different results, and that is what we cannot afford to do. So while it's not normal to be like me specifically, it may not be normal to be like you either. And nobody's maybe had the direct conversation with you to say it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to challenge other people and push other people's buttons simply by existing. And if that's the case, just spend less time with those people that can't accept you for all of who you are. Don't play small for the sake of fitting in with small-minded people. If their mind is all that they're willing to venture into, there's a whole universe and galaxy beyond that that is just so vast that if you are with small-minded people, you have to really consider how that's serving you, because we become an average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So, on that note, I'm going to get back to my day and say, Namaste, Namago, Laura J.